to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be sharing 4 new recipes on how to cook on a sheet pan. I am super excited because some of them are super unique, unexpected things that you would put on a sheet pan. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it and let's get to cooking.
So for our first recipe, we are going to be making sheet pan chili. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, this is amazing. So I started by dicing a half of a yellow onion, 3 stalks of celery, and a handful of colorful bell peppers and 1 green bell pepper, and I minced up some garlic. So to our sheet pan, I am just going to spray it with some canola oil so nothing sticks, and we are going to take a pound of ground turkey and we're going to tear it up and place it on 1/2 of the sheet pan, and then we're just going to put our veggies on the other half, mix them up and drizzle it with olive oil and about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. Once that is all mixed up, we are going to bake that in our preheated oven at 400 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, let's mix our wet ingredients, which is 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 can each of kidney beans and corn drained, an entire 6-ounce can of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of molasses, which gives it incredible flavor, and a 1/4 cup of pickled jalapenos, and a packet of chili seasoning, and 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Give that a really good stir. Now this couldn't be easier. We are just going to make the Jiffy cornbread mixture. According to the package, it's just 1 egg, 1/3 cup of milk. Whisk that together and set aside. Once the veggies and the turkey has finished cooking, we're just going to break up the turkey and mix everything all together, and we are just going to add our liquid to the sheet pan. The hardest part of this entire recipe is getting all of the liquid into the oven without dropping anything. So make sure that when you do this recipe, you do have a high-rimmed baking sheet pan. It would just make life a lot easier. And then we're just going to dollop about 5 or 6 cornbread dumplings all over the top. Now we are going to add it back in our 400-degree oven and cook for another 30 minutes. Once it comes out, you are going to have a complete meal here, complete with cornbread and everything. It was so good, came together quickly, and probably the most interesting thing I've ever made on a sheet pan. Alright, so for this next recipe, we are going to need a butternut squash, and my little tip is to take a fork, put a few holes in it, microwave it for 3 to 4 minutes, and it is so much easier to peel. Peel and dice this butternut squash. You should have about 2.5 cups. Get a large red onion and coarsely dice that, along with 3 cloves of garlic minced and 1 pound of Brussels sprouts cut in half. This pan is actually preheated. I had it in a 425-degree oven for 10 minutes, so it's nice and hot. I'm going to drizzle it with some olive oil, and we are going to put our chicken leg quarters on it, skin side down. This way it can kind of sear the chicken, and we're going to cook that for 10 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to make our sauce, which is 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and season it up with some salt and some pepper. Alright, so now that the chicken legs have been cooking for about 10 minutes, it has a little bit of sear on the bottom. You can actually cook it even longer and get a nicer sear on it. And then we are going to add our butternut squash to the sheet pan along with the onions and the minced garlic and the Brussels sprouts. Once you you have that all mixed up, we're going to return the chicken back to the pan and we're going to brush it with that honey mustard mixture, making sure that we use every last drop because it really is delicious. And then you're just going to drizzle everything on the pan with some olive oil, nice and generously, and season with salt and pepper. And then you are going to put it back into the 425-degree oven for about 35 minutes. This meal is definitely something you will want to add to your fall recipes this year. It is so good and it comes together so fast. The entire family loves it. So this meal was probably the easiest meal I made all week. It's Pierogies and Kielbasa. All you do is spray your pan generously with some spray. We're going to take 1 bag of tri-colored coleslaw. We're going to put that on the pan and we're going to dice up 1 green and 1 red bell pepper. Actually, we're going to slice it. And then we're going to slice up a pound of kielbasa. And then, of course, we need our pierogies. We're just going to throw this in a 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes, making sure that you are stirring everything and flipping halfway through. So here is what our meal comes out like. I forgot to mention that I did add a teaspoon of garlic powder to the coleslaw and I mixed that together. So it did give it a lot of extra flavor and it just came out really good. It's such an easy recipe to add to your arsenal of recipes. So to finish up our sheet pan recipes, I made a sweet potato, sausage, and broccoli bake. This was so good and all of these meals come together so quickly. I just love them. So I took 3 sweet potatoes, peeled and diced them, and I got about 2.5 cups here of broccoli florets. To a small bowl, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil, along with 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'm going to give that a good whisk. So to our baking sheet, of course, spray it with some nonstick spray. I'm going to add all of the sweet potatoes and half of the balsamic dressing marinade. And we're just going to toss that together and bake that in the oven, 400 degrees for 15 minutes. And I have one of these packages of the beef smoked sausage. I'm just going to slice that up. Once those 15 minutes are up for the potatoes, I'm going to then add in the sausage and we're going to put that back in the oven and bake that for an additional 10 minutes. So I put the broccoli florets in a small bowl, just put the rest of the balsamic marinade and give the broccoli a good toss. So we are going to just add that broccoli right onto the sheet pan, give everything a good stir, and we're going to finish cooking for another 15 minutes. I served it with a nice side salad. This is another recipe that is just delicious, and best part, it's only a few ingredients and comes together in no time.
Alright, so that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you are inspired to make one of these sheet pan dinners. If you are, I would love for you to tag me on social media. I will leave my links below. Also, if you are new here and you enjoyed this video, please, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button, join the community, and like this video so I know that I can make more like it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next video.